Welcome back. In the last video, we talked about creating our own data type whereby we can basically create a container with two particular compartments. The first compartment stores the name and the second compartment that stores the age. However, if we want to initialize it, we end up writing 3 lines of code instead of 1 line of code. Of course, right now, this is a little bit better because we are actually we know that we are referring to the name, we are knowing that we are referring to the age, and we don't need to remember, name is at position 0, age is at position 1. Now, but what if we can make life even easier to say that now, when I have this, when I create this person container, can I initialize both the compartments? And the way to do it will be, now, if we can do it while we say that, let me create a new container and I pass you at the same time these two particular values, so that we can do away with line 14 and line 15. Now, if we were to be able to do that, then of course, over here, we need to write a particular function which we call it the construct function. Now, this particular construct function is basically something that will be executed when the code runs. Actually, how do I even prove it to you about this? Let's try removing these two first. So now this particular construct takes in 0 parameters, and let me just do a echo happy. Now when I try to run it, okay, there's an error with my web server. Let me start it again. I forgot to start my web server after rebooting. So, oops. Okay, I shouldn't print out happy because I think, okay, what am I saying? Okay, notice that there's 2 happy printed out, and the reason why there's 2 happy that is printed out is because, first of all, I create a container for 1 time and 2 times. So every time when I create the container, you will print out happy. Of course, if you don't believe me, I can change it to SYZ. Run it again, it will print out SYZ twice. Okay, SYZ, SYZ. So as proven to you, this is nothing but just a piece of code that basically says that I will run all the statements within this set of curly brace every time when this particular object is constructed. Now, in order for us to be able to pass in 2 values, let's say over here, and I want to pass in orange and 3, and I want to pass in apple and 2. Now I have to declare 2 temporary variables over here, which we term as the parameters. Now, after we store the values, we are going to assign it to each of the compartment that is inside this particular container. And the way to do it is we basically make use of this keyword. $this points to the name compartment. What we are going to do is we are storing the name value. $this points to the age. We are actually storing the age compartment. So now when I run it, and if I print out the value, you will print out the first set of name and age for the first person container. Now, how exactly this works is when I say new person, let me just come back to the use my OneNote. When I say new person and I pass in, let's say it's apple, let me change this piece of code later. So let me say $n equals to apple, $a equals to 3. So what this means is when I construct a person object, I must pass in $n and $a. Now when I run it, every time when I run a script, there will be a pool of memory that is allocated for the execution of that script. So the script that I'm running is actually demo.php. I created a $n variable which stores the value apple apple. I created a $A that stores the value 3. I created a $C which creates the object. Now because this is a very special container, so usually what happens over here is that the variable will actually store the address to this particular object. And this particular object basically have two compartments. One compartment is called the name, the other compartment is called the age. Now when I create this construct function, so there's a function, right? Function, and it starts with underscore underscore construct, and it takes in $name and $age. So I will basically say this points to name equals to name, and this points to age equals to age. So every time when we invoke a function, a separate pool of memory will be set aside just for the invocation of that particular function. So this time around, this is the construct function. Now this tool is actually known as the parameter, as you have learned in your IS 111. So $name stores the value. What is the value that is being passed in? I pass in $n and $a, right? So I pass in the value apple, and I pass in the age value, which is 3. Now when I refer to this points to name and this point to age, we are actually referring to this particular two container. This is this points to name, and this points to age. And the reason why this is referring to this is because the word this actually refers to me, myself, and I. So my container, my object, me, myself, my container name compartment. Now the value that is stored inside here is stored the value of whatever things that is passed into the $name variable. So that's why it has the apple over here and it has the value 3 over here. So once I finish execution, when the code reaches here, this pool of memory will be garbage collected and the object will be initialized. That's how this whole thing works. So if you go back to your original code, right? If I remove these two lines and I try to print it out, let me just add something behind so that you can see that there's actually no value after here. If I comment off these two lines of code, you'll realize that these two values will be initialized to their default value, which is empty. That's it for this particular video over here, and see you again the next time. Bye bye. So let me just uncomment this, and bye bye.